drawing me.
Gentlemen, what is going on? Give me the sip rep. So for today's video, guys, I've got this woman right here. We will cover her and then we will move to a Reddit story. So let's get down to business.
Don't nothing piss a man who not your man off, like reminding him that he not your man. I'm arguing with this man yesterday. I'm like, you know what? Why am I even having this discussion? He was not my
Boyfriend.
And you would have thought that I said your mom's a hoe and I hope she died the way he responded to me. Like, you read the whole argument. He not even worried about what we discussing no more. He only worried about the you not my man comment. And it's just like, when did you ask me to be your girlfriend? What is our anniversary? We ain't got one. You not my man. Talk about something. You know, I thought we was building towards something. Building what? A house of cards? It's a windy day. The house is gone.
I mean, I can't but agree with you. You know, if you're not in a committed relationship with someone, he's not your boyfriend, he's not your man, why don't you tell that to all the boss babes on TikTok, right? We covered on the last video a Reddit story where a woman was having the same problem, that she had a situationship going on for several months, and yeah, the guy just didn't get back to her, you know, was not interested. Well, he's not your boyfriend. You know, it goes both sides. But let's move on to the second TikTok.
When I said I was a loser because I don't know how to maintain a roster, people were like, no, you're not a loser. Like, it's nothing wrong with like only wanting to talk to one guy. Yes, it is. Because this guy that I've been talking to, I just went to his Hinge because I was trying to show his picture to one of my friends. And he didn't update his profile since we started talking. And so now I got to block him. Because yes, don't get me wrong. We have not had no conversations about being exclusive. This is not my man. You know, we haven't even done the do yet. But still, why are you looking for other bitches when you already met me? This the type of shit that I can't do.
So she has a roster. She has many guys talking with her, but she has a problem when a man has other options. Isn't that crazy, gentlemen? And mind you, every girl you see on a dating app has a roster. Everyone, all of them. You know, there's some guys that think that because they talk for several months with a girl, that means that she's being exclusive. No, it's absolutely nothing like that. So let's move on to the last TikTok, and then we'll move on to the Reddit story.
Okay, y'all, update on this man. We gonna call him Foodie because when we initially matched on Hinge, it was like we bonded over the fact that we're both foodies. Anyways, we were on FaceTime the other night and he was asking me about our third date. And I'm like, why are you talking about our third date when we haven't gone on the second date? He's like, oh, I already know I'm gonna take you for our second date. Like, I'm just trying to plan ahead. And you know, I like that energy. And so far,
Yeah, you like that energy because apparently the guy has to be attractive. Because if he wasn't really attractive, you will not like that energy. How many times, gentlemen, have we seen men, you know, do nice things for women, and it just scares them off? Like, they just turn their back on that man. If you are not a top percentage of men, and you tell a girl, you know, they've had a first date, and now he's talking about the third date because he's planning ahead. If you do that on whatever dating app with any woman, she's gonna ignore you, like 100%. You see, because the commitment scares these women, because as I mentioned on my previous point, women have so many options. They have quite a lot of guys interested in them on dating apps, and so if you say things like, I'm planning ahead, you know, to have a second date, to have a third date, if you talk about commitment, they see that as if you're trying to take their roster away from them. You see, it's like a little kid who has quite a few toys and wants to take them all on vacation, for example, and his parents tell him, no, you have to choose one. You can't take all your toys on the vacation. You see, and then that kid is like, you know, this is my favorite toy, but still, I don't want to let go of that toy. I want to bring all of them. It happens the same with women. They have all their toys, you know, all the males that are attracted to them. And when one of them shows signs of commitment and stability, they they think that they want to take their roster away from them. They think that you want to take away their other options. And so in order to do that, you have to be a top percentage of men. This is the argument that floats around, that women only date the top percentage of men. Because women have so many options that if they are going to commit to a single one, they will be comparing you to all the other options. So you have to be better than all their options in order for them to date you, or, you know, to want something serious at all. Of course, that doesn't go for Chad. That doesn't go for the extremely handsome men who these women use for, you know, the bedroom fun and the validation. But when we talk about something serious, women will not have something serious with you unless you're a top percentage of men. Let's keep watching.
For our second date, we went to dinner on Thursday, and like he was trying to do something like more interesting, but I was having like a really busy week, so that was just, you know, what fit. And we went to Virtue in Hyde Park. It was very good, very good. And we were at dinner. He was like, he said, I feel like you're going to have me standing outside your house with a boombox in the rain. And I was geeked because, you know, like, you like me.
Yeah, because he was very attractive. Gentlemen, you can, you know, throw tiny rocks at these women's windows. You can play guitar in front of their house. You can write poems to them, you know, with a rose between your mouth. You can do a lot of things, but they will see that as creepy if they're not interested in you. The same behavior can be viewed as creepy or as highly romantic, depending on how a woman views you.
And we kissed, and he's a good kisser, and yeah, I think I like him too, but not too much, because you know when you start bragging on a man, that's when they start fucking up.
Yeah, so even though he's attractive, apparently, and pretty successful, and a good kisser, and plans ahead, etc., you know, she's still not willing to commit or to give any signs, because apparently that is when men screw up. But gentlemen, enough about that. Let's cover today's Reddit story. And as you can see, gentlemen, I've already got my own desk just here, sitting in my tomb. So that is courtesy of Taylor. You know, that the guy's been helping me a lot with the channel. So shout out to him. But let's read, gentlemen. And this was posted. Let me for a moment cover my avatar. This was posted on Witches versus Patriarchy. Is a woman-centered subreddit with a witchy twist aimed at healing, supporting, and uplifting one another through humor and magic. The goal is to at one embrace and poke fun at the mystical aspects of femininity that have been previously demonized and or devalued by the patriarchy. Damn, this patriarchy, man. Damn patriarchy. This subreddit is a safe space for women, BIPOC, I don't know what that stands for, and anyone in the LGBTQ plus community. We are sisters, not sisters. If you do not consider yourself an ally, then this subreddit is not for you. All right. Let's cover the TikTok, the Reddit story. Excuse me, gentlemen. All right. International Men's Day discussion thread celebrating men and masculinity by challenging patriarchal expectations. Note, this post was discussed and approved by the mods prior to being posted. So he writes that note because, you know, this subreddit stands for misandry. And so she had to clarify that it's been approved by the mods. Hello again to all the kind folks of this wonderful sub. Today is International Men's Day, so this was a week ago. International Men's Day was created to help create awareness about men's physical and mental health and celebrate their contribution to families and communities. It is undeniable that we live in patriarchal societies designed to usually keep a small number of wealthy men in power. Yeah, how disgusting, guys. When discussing the topic of the patriarchy, we often explore the abuse, exploitation, I shouldn't have said that word, I hope this video is not taken down, exploitation, subjugation, and discrimination faced by women in these systems, but sometimes overlook the devastating impact that these systems have on men and boys throughout their life. Of course, the patriarchy is not only bad for women, but also for men. And that was an irony. From infancy, Boys quickly learn from their environment that there are steep expectations that need to be met if you're ever going to be considered a real man. Yeah, that's what life is all about. You must be constantly productive, wealthy, muscular, hetero, tall, smart, talented, and confident in everything you do. I mean, half of those things are kind of like a requirement from life, you know. You have to be productive, you have to be, muscular, healthy, smart, talented. I mean, those are things that are sort of, expected by life itself. You're not going to get far if you're not productive, if you're not improving yourself. But some of the things are things that only women want, like wealthy. You know, I hardly believe that not all men have to be wealthy. Some guys are interested in, growing their businesses and really being rich, but some guys are not. Like some guys don't care. They just want to have their job that gives them enough money, and that's it. But being wealthy is something that women want in a man. It's not something that the quote unquote patriarchy wants. Also, being tall, this is something that strictly women want. Men don't give a crap if other men are tall or not. Attributes like artistic creativity, emotional intelligence, I've come to hate this word because of the use it has, empathy, caretaking, open-mindedness, emotional vulnerability, or even a love for cooking or dance are actively smothered in young boys in favor of the previously mentioned masculine traits. Man, I don't know where this woman lives. Throughout my life, I have never seen something like this happen. Like, yeah, most of the men will be mechanics and engineers or work in STEM or whatever, but I've never seen a man have something against another man being artistically creative. In fact, most of the painters and poets and authors are men, They are creatively artistic. So I don't know what you're talking about. Empathy, again, what man has a problem with another man being empathetic or being a caretaker? I just don't know what this woman is talking about. I feel like their idea of the patriarchy is like taken from a story, or is taken from a movie they've seen. At least in my reality, at least in the countries I've been, I've never seen this happen. Let's keep reading. To say nothing of men with mental or physical conditions that leave them severely restricted or unable to contribute to society is traditionally masculine ways. Where does this leave us? With generation after generation of men and boys who never even learned that it's okay to experience the wide spectrum of emotions, and that replacing vulnerable emotions with rage, ego, or stoicism is preferred to looking weak for even a moment. I have to comment on that being weak is something that you do not want to show. You don't want to show weakness in your business. You don't want to show weakness when there is competition involved. Of course, it comes to logic. But for the most part, there are men that go through bad periods and their bros, their homies help them all the time. Women have this idea that all men are constantly fighting with each other, and are willing to step on each other's head to go a step further, which is not true. It happens, this that men prefer to not look weak happens in relationships, because men have had the experience where they share their emotions in a relationship, and those very same emotions get turned against them. Has it happened to you, gentlemen? Leave me a comment down below, but we've read so many Reddit stories of men who either have been in a bad period in their life or maybe just shared their emotions, made the mistake to share their weaknesses, and that very same weaknesses have been used against them. This is why men in romantic relationships don't want to appear weak, because it gets used against them all the time. And I have to say, as a last note, I am generalizing. I don't think that every woman is going to take advantage of you showing your weaknesses. I am an optimist, guys. I believe that there are women out there that are good human beings and will take, the problems you face wholeheartedly and will try to support you. But for the most part, showing your emotions in a relationship is a recipe for failure. let's keep reading. And everyone who has had an experience like this will relate. At the same time, many men are being conditioned to feel entitled to relationships and bedroom fun, two things that require emotional vulnerability, empathy, open-mindedness, and ability to work collaboratively. Men are not being conditioned or do not feel entitled to relationships or bedroom fun. They just sort of expect that, once you're in a relationship, they just have a higher drive for bedroom fun than women. This doesn't mean that they are entitled to it. If one of the two genders is to be associated with the word entitled, I think we can all agree that it's woman. When entitlement like this meets unpreparedness, confusion, anger, and heartbreak are often all that's left in the end. Masculinity is not inherently toxic. I cannot believe I just read that on a woman's subreddit. Men are good. Wow. You heard it here first, gentlemen. Men have been responsible for some of the greatest inventions and advancements in the history of our species. Men are capable of phenomenal acts of kindness, empathy, and compassion. Patriarchal systems push a toxic version of masculinity because it is understood that emotionally intelligent men are far more dangerous to the status quo than those that have been told to man up and quietly suffer. What we do moving forward will determine the type of world future generations grow up in. So, you got halfway there. I mean, this woman got some ideas right. At least she's not a man hater. At least she's not being misandrous, but you can see that she has a widely inaccurate concept about what men are, what their relationships in society are, their relationships with their friends, with their girlfriends, etc. So it was quite interesting for me to read that. Leave me down a comment of what your thoughts are. But with that being said, gentlemen, that will be it for today. I wish you a good day. See ya.